So I was doing the best I could given the situation with my new friends that I made, that I hope, I'll do my best to have them as lifelong friends, brothers, like truly brothers, people that, in all honesty, I feel closer to than my own siblings. Which is strange to say, but Jesus said, I'm paraphrasing because I can't really, I'm not really good at memorizing verses yet, but he said his brothers and sisters, his family, are those who follow after God. And so I truly believe that. But anyway, it was relatively drama-free in that pod. Till one guy, not worth mentioning, punched the younger S in the face, where there was just tension from him all the time because he stirred the pot a lot, to put it, PG. And he was just a problem, and we knew he was a problem. And we had told the guards about it, Nobody wants to be a rat in jail, or especially prison, but we just figured we're not going to be in here for long term with all this stress and all this drama. We're grown men. Yet people act like they're children in jail, which is a whole nother video. But anyway, he got punched, but the next morning that guy got moved to the other section, and there was peace again for the time being, till another guy came in who was just, Lord help him, I don't know what was wrong with him, but he had spent significant portions of his life in prison, and ironically is there again after he got transferred from the jail to the prison. And so we had to get him moved out too, because he was making verbal threats against the older S. He got moved out, and funnily enough, immediately after that happened, another guy who was problematic in that section piped up and started walking around screaming, "Who's the rat? Who's the effing rat?" and all this stuff. Mind you, while we were doing Bible study, me and 3 other guys. And he starts encircling our table, making accusations. And we just continue to read. And my heart, I remember, was pounding. And my adrenaline was just going through the roof, because it just bothered me so much, and I was full of anger and hatred. And he punched, or kind of smacked upside the head, the older S, which was like, and then he just kept circling the table, and something in me, I don't know what it was, made me stand up. And I just went like this and put my hands behind my back and was just walking towards him. I don't know what I said. If I said anything, I'm sure I did, because it's in my nature to be a smart aleck. So I'm sure I said something smart alecky. And he gave me one on the cheek. And I bled a little bit, and I laughed, because it really didn't hurt. And I was just saying something to the effect of, "Wow, dude, wow." And then I went over to the speaker and said, "Yeah, this guy just punched me." And they moved him out. And then, from then on out, there was just peace in the pod, and I don't know. We felt literally that it was just demons that left. How much that's true or not, I don't really know. I know that people can give in to evil very easily, and I've been very much a part of that. Whether or not it was demons, I don't know, but I just think it's just our nature. be filled with hate and anger, and I've been filled with hate and anger a lot of my life. And of course, I very much so wanted to punch him back and do this whole thing, but I just thought, well, no, I got to do my time. I'm not getting an extra charge for this, and I really want him out, so I'm just going to let him hit me. And he did. And I was fine for it. Praise God. And eventually older S got out, because he was only there on a 60-day probation violation or something. And I still have his number, and called him a couple times since then, and actually later today or tomorrow I plan on calling him or texting him again. So it'd just be nice to see him. I mean, I want to see all these guys, but he's the only one that's out right now. Lord willing, the other two guys, well, one I haven't mentioned yet, but I will. Lord willing, they'll be out soon, because they're fighting some stuff. Sorry, I just been fiddling with my hair. I need a haircut really bad. And so all was sweet and dandy. Then the guy from the other section got moved over to our section, who was also a believer. He's a good man. His name is A. We'll call him A for now. And we just added to the Bible study group, and it was amazing. And I would tell my mom about it, and she'd be like, praise God, that's great. What a godsend. It truly was and is. And we got really close. We all did. And for once in my life, I was able to share something profound about myself, something that was just truly meaningful in life. Because as you would imagine, most of the people in jail, and I'm assuming prison's the same, they just talk about the crap they used to do. The drugs and the women and the crimes, and everybody's blaming the system. And not really talking about like what's wrong, what's going on with them. And that sat in my heart. Every day I would think about it, and I would write about it in my journal. Which, by the way, was the first time I ever really kept a consistent journal. And it was very helpful. Extremely helpful. Aside from reading the Bible, just journaling, writing down my thoughts, what happened that day, what I'm feeling, writing down prayers. It healed me. And I hopefully will continue that for the rest of my days. And so one day S got moved over to the other pod for I don't know what reason, and it was very sad. This was about maybe 2 months before, probably about May, he got moved. It was really sad, because he was probably my closest friend in there, aside from A. I mean, they all are, but S and I, the younger S, we got really close. And all we would ever really talk about is the Bible, and just wanting to change. And we would show each other verses, and it was amazing. Talk about sermons that we liked. And so that was a blow to my heart. Definitely, but A was still there, and he's a good guy, so we continued Bible study and prayer, just talking about stuff. And things just kind of went on in that regard. I just, every day, particularly during the last month and a half, I just felt peace, inner peace, fulfillment. That no drug, no sexual encounter, or stupid thing that I've done ever given me, and it hasn't even come close. And all that just helped me to believe even more that the word is true. Everything in that book is true. King Solomon had everything. He had riches beyond imagination. Hundreds and hundreds of wives and concubines, but he himself said he just was missing something. I've tried to attain that in girls, relationships. Never really dove too much into drugs and booze, but I had my periods of that, to be sure. But there was just something missing, and I just felt so empty and lonely. But now I have it. I have it. I have it in abounds. I have it. I have that. And I'll continue in the next video.